Well, back in Deadpool and Wolverine, when Blade said there's only been one Blade and there'll only ever be one Blade, well, we thought it was a joke, but it turns out it might not have been. Let's take a couple minutes to talk about the latest Blade update, how it's been removed from the 2025 schedule, and why this might actually be the end of this project as we know it. Now, earlier today, we got some news that we've been kind of dreading for a little while. There have been a ton of behind-the-scenes dramas, rewrites, and changes ever since Marvel Studios announced the Blade reboot back in 2019 at Comic-Con. Now, the whole thing kicked off with a lot of energy because two-time Oscar winner Mahershala Ali was set to star, and the film seemed to get legs almost right away. Now, since then, the project has seen a ton of problems with two directors exiting, first Bassam Tariq and then Yann Demange. Now, Mia Goth was apparently set to play Lilith, and recently when she was promoting Maxine, she talked about these delays, making it pretty clear that she thought Marvel really cared and they were trying to get the project right. Now, earlier today, Deadline dropped the news that the Blade movie had been taken off the Disney schedule for 2025 and was actually being replaced by Predator Badlands. Now, sadly, the film did not get a new release date, and it sounds to me like this project might be circling the drain, and this was some news we were wondering if it was going to come our way. A couple of months ago, we found out that Marvel was looking at several projects to potentially shelve and streamline their release schedule, and two of those were Blade and War Machine. Now, honestly, I expected War Machine to be the project to get scrapped, because Blade had a ton of hype behind it, but now it seems like, for right now, the project is without a release date, and I suspect these additional delays could very well ultimately shelve this project, or at least put it on the back burner long enough that if it does come to fruition, it will look drastically different than what we're getting now. Mahershala Ali is 50 years old, so I don't know how much longer we really want to hold out before kicking off a new franchise with this particular actor leading it. I always thought he was a great cast for the part, and he's a super talented actor, but we have heard stories of some behind-the-scenes frustration, the inability to get this project off the ground, and I have to think this could be the death blow between him and Marvel, and we'll ultimately see him leave the project, but as of this morning, that hasn't happened. Now, I'm a huge Blade fan, I really want this project to work, and I am sad it's not happening. The fact that they didn't reassign a release date is more troubling to me than the move. I've been expecting Marvel to move it for a while, ever since Bob Iger said pretty much 3 movies max per year, and we're hitting that threshold early in 2025, so moving Blade would make sense if the schedule was too crowded, but that doesn't appear to be the case because it doesn't have a new date. I'm going to be honest, I really miss the days where Marvel set a schedule and kept it. It seems like at this point, this project might actually be cursed, and the fact that Deadpool and Wolverine saw such a successful return of Blade to the MCU, and now I honestly think he lives in that same world with Deadpool, well, I have to wonder if this delay is more built around the idea that Wesley Snipes will be part of Secret Wars along with Deadpool, Wolverine, Elektra, Gambit, and of course X-23, and then we'll see the new version of Blade come at us in the future, maybe a couple years after Secret Wars, but at that point you can virtually guarantee Mahershala Ali won't be attached to the project. I really have high hopes for Marvel's horror characters with Blade leading the crew. Everybody wants a Midnight Suns movie, and I know Marvel likes their team-up films and their Avengers franchises, and Midnight Suns was basically the horror Avengers, so I don't think they're letting it go, but I don't think it will return in time to see the same faces associated with the project. How this all works out, we're going to have to wait and see. Now, before you take off, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, ring that bell for all the updates, and make sure you get every notification because we do daily Marvel and DC content and we don't want you to miss any news.